Welcome, students. Today we will learn about subject Science and Technology Part 2 of Standard Ninth, lesson name Environmental Management, video number 8. In previous video, we have learned about climate and weather and meteorology. And today we will continue learning with the topic solid waste management. Before start topic, let's understand the concept of pollution. The process of contamination of the environment due to human activities or due to natural causes is called pollution. When waste is released in different natural sources like air, soil, and water, it causes air pollution, soil pollution, and water pollution respectively, as you can see in the following pictures. Waste are unwanted substances produced by various processes. It can be either solid state or liquid state. So let's learn in detail about solid waste. Solid waste is the unwanted solid materials which we do not need any longer and usually we throw it away. The different materials like papers, plastic, vegetable peels, wrappers, industrial waste, mining waste are the examples of solid waste. And all the solid waste are collected from city and dumped at the dumping sites as you can see in the picture. Now we look upon the topic necessity for disposal of solid waste. Solid waste is a serious worldwide problem that causes pollution of all the air, water and soil ecosystems. Solid waste affects nations' economic growth, beauty of the place, spreads various diseases and also causes environmental degradation. Hence, it is necessary to dispose and manage solid waste properly. If waste are accumulated and disposed of improperly, then it creates serious threats to nature and human habitat. Therefore, we need to dispose the unwanted materials, otherwise it may affect environment adversely. Also, there is a necessity for the proper disposal of solid wastes as it can be a valuable source of energy by using various techniques. Depending on degradability of solid waste, it is divided into two types, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable, which is also called as wet solid waste, is the waste which can be degraded by microbes. It is also called as wet garbage. Examples: kitchen waste, soil, ash, parts of plants, dung, etc. Whereas non-biodegradable, which is also called as dry waste, is that which cannot be degraded easily. Example: plastic, metal, thermocol, etc. When solid waste accumulate in the environment, it results in various harmful effects. So let's learn what are the harmful effects of solid waste. It affects the biodiversity. Due to global nature of climate change, landfill gases released from local landfills have the ability to affect the biodiversity. Due to decomposition of wet waste by microbes, it releases harmful toxic gases and bad odor at the place of dumping sites, which results in the degradation of natural beauty of the place. Also, it causes air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. Solid waste spreads the diseases by providing breeding places for mosquitoes, flies, and rats, which spreads diseases like dengue, malaria, and other infectious diseases due to improper disposal of waste. Therefore, solid waste management should be done. It can be achieved by preventing environmental pollution and keeping the surroundings clean, using waste to produce energy and manure, which can be used in organic farming. Also, the solid waste management can be used to reduce the strain on natural resources and improve the health and quality of life. So, to achieve all these above things, proper scientific and eco friendly waste management methods should be followed. The first method is separation and categorization of waste, under which the waste is separated into different elements as shown in the picture. Waste sorting can occur manually at the household as dry waste and wet waste. The another method of treating solid waste is composting, a biological process in which the organic portion of refuse is allowed to decompose under carefully controlled conditions. Microbes metabolize the organic waste. It gives valuable humus like material called compost, as we can see in the picture. The third method is safe landfill sites. What is exactly mean by safe landfill sites? A pit is dug in the land which is far from agricultural land and residential areas. Then it is lined up with the plastic to avoid leaching of the waste. In that pit, a waste collected from household that is added into pit and it is covered up by the layers of soil. What happens in this process? The microbes in the soil helps to degrade and decompose the waste, and after a few months the entire land will be made up of good amount of compost. This compost can be transported to necessary places. Later on, in the same place, same land, the process of composting can be done. The fourth method is vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is where earthworms are purposefully added into the soil where the waste that is present soil will be eaten up or consumed by the earthworm and their waste makes soil more fertile. That is called vermicomposting. In other way, we can say the composting done with the help of earthworm is called vermicomposting, as you can see in the figure. The next method is pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is where the waste is burnt at very high temperature and whatever comes out from this process is used for energy production or fuel also. The next method for waste management is incineration. Incineration and pyrolysis are the same where waste is burnt at high temperature. But incineration is used normally for biomedical waste, that is the waste generated from hospitals, medicals and clinics. We know that this waste contains pathogens, so we cannot use any other method for managing the biomedical waste. Let's move to another topic related to solid waste, that is 7 principles of solid waste management which need to be followed for solid waste management. There will not be pollution occur due to following these principles. We'll look at all one by one. The first R stands for reuse. Certain materials whichever we can use again should be used. Example, blank pages from used notebooks we can reuse. The second R stands for refuse. All should refuse the use of non-degradable articles like plastic and thermocol. The third R stands for recycle. New articles productions should be done from old ones. Example, paper and glass can be recycled. So we should use them as raw material to get new ones. The fourth R stands for rethink. Rethinking should be done about our habits, activities, and their consequences in connection with the use of various articles of daily use. The fifth R stands for reduce. We all should reduce strain on natural resources which are involved in production of new objects, and for this old materials should be reused. One thing should be shared by many. Use and throw type of objects should be avoided. Sixth R stands for research. Research should be done for using the materials which are temporarily out of use. And seventh R stands for regulation and public awareness. All should follow the laws and rules related to waste management and motivating others to do the same. Thank you.